I have a song stuck in my head that I don't even know the words to because it's in a different language. We really need to talk about Star Wars Celebration. So Star Wars Celebration Chicago was April 11th to the 15th, and we were there. Well, we were there from like that Monday to the Sunday, but that's a different story. We took a train from Boston to Chicago. Oh. Welcome to Albany, New York. We are in the middle. They're gonna recouple the cars to add some more 2-hour train. Alright, then you back on. So we came in via the train here. No, I was like, oh, so we came in via the train and we just went outside. We just watched the opening day for Fenway, and then also the Patriots showed up because they also won. It was a very long ceremony, but it was good. So in our group that went, it was AJ, myself, and then our friends Matt and Shelby, and we had an amazing time. So we've known Matt and Shelby for probably, at this point, maybe 5 years. Hey Shelby, guess what?
What?
The last time I actually vlogged was in New York City with you on the school trip. That was the last time.
And now we're vlogging.
Now we're vlogging again, but in Chicago.
On a school trip. No.
No. We all went to school together, and so it was a lot of fun for us all just to spend a week together in a totally different city that none of us have ever been to. What's it like being in a Target in Chicago?
The booze. And then
Oh, this is true.
One in white, dude.
You're gonna whiff at this water.
Whoa. Smells like a pool.
And I'd like to say that we saw Chicago, but did we really see Chicago? So we did actually go out and we drank a little bit, and then we came back and
We made a friend. I found a boy and I brought him home.
this about sums it up. AJ threw up, Shelby found a friend, and
I met a guy at
Matt's
the bar.
computer is dying.
My
This
computer's
is
making
Perry.
funky
We're
noises.
gonna hang out now.
But at the same time, we did devote the time to go to these places and like try and like see stuff. We went to the Art Institute of Chicago. And then right when you leave the Art Institute, there is the start of Route 66. So on the day that it was really, really windy, AJ and I decided to take a walk. So our Airbnb was up in Old Town, and so it was a really nice area. It actually reminded us a lot of the North End of Boston, which was really adorable and really cute, and so we really felt like we were at home and we weren't just like staying at a hotel or just like staying at some random place. So we walked over to Lake Michigan. There's no sharks in a lake. So I was saying to AJ, it's so weird seeing a body of water that's a lake. So we're just swimming to the ocean and we're just like, what is going on? This beach is crazy.
A little bigger than Winnipesaukee.
Little bit. Yeah, also the wind is kinda...
I can feel the
yeah.
difference in the chill.
It's lake, yeah, lake effect. It's
Lake
there.
effect wind.
AJ really, really, really wants to touch the lake. Look at the sands. Ah, man. AJ was like, oh, let's get a picture of me touching the lake, and then I got So I'm in the market for a new pair of white Converse, which I'm just realizing now I bought last year. So, actually about the convention. So I talked about how we got there. We also took the train home, but that's a different story. So when we were at the convention, it was mind-blowing, honestly. Like, I've been to a handful of conventions in my life, and they've all been in the Boston, New England area, but actually being able to go to a totally different city and seeing something that was just exclusively Star Wars was crazy. One of my favorite things about the convention was getting to meet people that I've talked to online for a while. And I've considered them internet friends, and it was just so nice to be like, oh my god, I can finally see you in person. There's a few people that I've met before that are like from this area, or I've run into before because they've come up to a New England con. And it was so cool to see people that like live in LA, that live in the Midwest, live in Texas, live in Germany and the UK. It was just like, oh my god, this is amazing because I can like finally put a face to a name. And I tried so hard to take a selfie with everyone that I met, and I tried also giving out my postcards. I also had one that got beans, but apparently I already handed all those out. One of the funniest things about Celebration is everyone is handing out some sort of swag, and so like all these buttons in that corner were like all of my like random buttons I got from people. So whenever someone would be like, oh, I have a button, I would try and give them a postcard at least, because I didn't prep before the con and make anything beforehand, so I bought 50 postcards in the lobby of my office building the day before we left, and I was just like, okay, I'm handing these out at Celebration. I signed the back, and I was like, here you go, here's something from Boston. All that being said, I am a member of our local Rebel Legion base, so I am part of Alderaan base, which is the one representing Boston. So someone in our base was kind enough to give us a few like things of swag to hand out to people, or like trade at least. So I did get to trade a few things with people, which was really exciting. So like I have like this like stack of just like patches now, and I'm like, I don't even know how this happened. It's just like, oh, you got swag, you want to trade? And I'm like, here. It's literally just like, and now they're everywhere. Let's talk about 3 times that I screamed over the weekend at Star Wars Celebration. First time, the Episode 9 trailer.
Roll it again.
The Episode 9 trailer. So the way that it worked at Celebration was you could pre-register ahead of time for like lotteries in order to get into like the really big panels, like Episode 9, The Mandalorian, Clone Wars. There's like a couple other ones as well. Oh, The Phantom Menace, 20 years, which was crazy to think about. So we didn't get into the main arena for Episode 9, which was a full-scale arena, but we got into one of the 2 overflow rooms to watch the stream live, and it was magical. Like, everyone was screaming, everyone was crying, like, grown men next to me were, like, standing up and cheering, and I was just like, oh my god, yes, this is everything that the sequel trilogy needed. I'm just so excited for The Rise of Skywalker, like, no idea. Second time that I screamed at Star Wars Celebration, I was watching the costume contest because I wanted to watch it. You had to pre-register for it, so I was like, whatever, it's no big deal. But everyone who was in it was amazing. Like, so much, like, handiwork and, like, detail and, so good. The person who won the needlework portion of the entire competition was my friend Jen, who's actually up here. She's local, and I just started screaming my head off.
The top layer of the custom drafted corset and the fingerless gloves are made from black stretched leather. The skirt from black lace over silver taffeta and is self-lined in that same taffeta. The caplet from 13 yards of feather trim. Pat me on the dollar.
Third time that I screamed at Star Wars Celebration, I got on the live stream for the Star Wars show. So they were interviewing Bobby Moynihan and Donald Faison because they are in Star Wars Resistance. They're both voice actors in it. And I literally bought the puppet of this little Gorg here, which is one of the little side things within Star Wars Resistance. He goes right with Bobby's character. And so Bobby is on stage, and I've always loved Bobby Moynihan from when he was on SNL. Like, always one of my favorite guys. And they're talking and they are like, oh yeah, let's hear it for Bitey the Gorg. And I'm like, that's literally what I'm holding in my hand. And so all I wanted was Bobby Moynihan to witness me. That's all I ask. We're in Star Wars, we're in Star Wars. That's what they kept doing, like, as they were, like, walking around. They're just so cute, the two of them. Like, love them. My favorite piece of merch that I received at Star Wars Celebration was this. It is an energy drink with Rey's face on it. I don't know who gave it to me, but I was dressed as Rey, and he's like, oh, are you Rey? And I'm like, yeah. And so he was like, here you go. And I'm like, thanks. So somehow it made its way back to Boston with me, and I don't think I'm ever going to drink it, but here it is, and it's my favorite thing because someone gave it to me because I was Rey. I am still in awe that we even went to Star Wars Celebration, and I am so happy that we went. We are going to be going to Anaheim next year though, so we'll see you guys there. Oh my god, I forgot to talk about Wrigley Field. Ooh.